Stacy. How you doing?
Hey, Michael. How are you?
Stacy, if I were any better,
39.
I would have to literally just like throw myself in front of a cross city bus. I'm so good. I am so excited to be back here.
Yay.
I'm trying to subdue my excitement after these little couple of weeks that we had to take a little break.
I know. It's a long time. It was 3 weeks. I only intended 2 weeks, but yeah, just everything was happening at once. And as you know, when we were trying to record last week, just the washer dryer incident took over.
Did you get that taken care of?
Yeah, it was fine. It was just the window, the drain pipe wasn't adequate or whatever. It wasn't right. And so, of course, the guy who was coming came right when we were supposed to record. And so my parents they're a little nervous. They're like, we need you down here. You have to be down here if he asks questions. I'm like,
exactly.
Okay. So that's how that went down. But
you know, moving is never easy. I mean, anyone who's ever had to move, even if it's across town, within the state or out of state, it's a big deal. So, you know, hang in there, take some, it takes some a cure-all. I call it a Jack and Coke cure-all. And it makes it a lot easier, when trying. I mean, sure, your pictures may be a little lopsided, but that's okay.
Right.
That's okay. Hey, where are we recording from? Where are we at?
We are in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Clarksville, Tennessee. I hear that's a nice place to live.
It is a nice place to live. You saw my post. I should have, I might put in a picture right here.
You should.
Of my Starry Night mural, which you saw that post.
That was great.
I froze when I saw that. Just always since I was a kid, always been my favorite painting. And I was like, oh, when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. It's huge, 3 stories high. So beautiful. But the town is really nice and it's big and it has everything. And it's like you're convenient to everything, yet the neighborhood's tucked away. So it's just right. It's really just right. And so
I'm glad. I'm glad. I got to get down there and visit soon.
Yes.
You have extra room?
Oh, yes. We have an extra room. We have a queen bed and our third bedroom. And are you kidding me? You and Sue have got to get down here.
I can't wait to see it.
Could you imagine we'll do a podcast right from this room? That would be epic. And here's my wall. There you go.
That is looking absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm looking. That's amazing.
Yeah. So
that I love it. And do I see the red beret in the background?
You do. Right.
Nice. There it is. there it is. I know the camera angle always revert the mirror image thing. It always screws up. And what's that over your right shoulder? Is that the Rocky LP?
It is, yes.
Is it?
Yeah,
nice.
That's it. And so I have and Tim Wisteard actually got that for me, and he sent me that as a gift to thank him, for some help on Instagram pages, and his he and Tony C. Speaking of, since we're on that, what was I going to say? Fan shout out. Round 14 podcast.
How are they doing with it? I haven't got a chance to listen yet, but I heard good things.
We're doing really good. And so it's just more of a broader topic. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it's the 80s. It's what 50 somethings deal with. It's, culture and Tom Cruise and Top Gun and, all that stuff that we grew up with. Rambo and Rocky, but just a broader topic. So
how do I get booked on there? I would love to get on there.
Oh, I think they'd have us on. Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be great to just go on and talk about everything and Rocky? That would be awesome.
Yeah. So that's what they're doing. So it's called Round 14 podcast. 14. Yeah, which is an epic title. I
didn't even see. Do you want to know something? Talk about the 80s, the greatest decade ever.
Ever.
I never saw the original Top Gun. Never saw it.
No kidding. Really?
Never rode into the danger zone. Never. Never. I don't know what. There was something. It's that ego that is projected between Tom Cruise's Maverick and Val Kilmer's Iceman.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm well aware of the pop culture significance. I get all of that.
Right.
I do. But I just, the ego was too much for me. I don't bond with characters like that. Yeah. So I never saw it. And I was talking to my friend. Actually, I'm promoting Icons in Art. My good buddy, John Rivoli. This is his company, Icons in Art. Please go there. Icons in Art. And check out all of his paintings. You're going to love it. Here you go. Here's just a little sample. There you go. Right.
My Rambo above my head.
Your Rambo above your head. Exactly. And, you know, I got one of the T-shirts from Slice Stallone Shop. They're selling with the painting above your head on a T-shirt. I have it. And I didn't know which one to wear today. It was Decisions. And so I said, well, today I'll do Icons in Art. And then maybe next week I'll do the Rambo one. Because I love that that painting. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah, one of my favorites, all-time favorites.
Anyways, where are we going? Okay, so I didn't see Top Gun, and so I haven't seen the second one. But John called me, and he said, "Hey, have you seen Top Gun yet?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Oh, it was fantastic." He goes, "You know, nobody will ever mess with us again." And he goes, "Yeah, I saw Top Gun too." He goes, "I know exactly what we need to do if anybody messes with it." I go, "Okay." And we got a floor plan. That's good.
Yeah, you know, they said it's very patriotic, and that, you know, they leave, you know, politics out of it, which is refreshing.
They did. They don't even name the enemy.
Right.
Because they want this to play in every country around the world. They don't want to name Korea or China or Russia. Who knows?
They just leave it alone. It's so funny. My mom, because I want to go see the new one, right? And I saw it. I hadn't seen it in 20 years. And so I rewatched it with my parents. And it was funny. They didn't name the enemy in original Top Gun either. No.
No, see, I don't know that. The only thing I ever saw was when Maverick buzzes the tower in the first one. I saw a clip of that somewhere. And then, of course, You Lost That Love and Feeling. I think everybody saw that.
Yes. That's cute.
MTV video generation back in the day. But I don't know. I maybe I'll catch the first Top Gun again. I don't know. Tom Cruise is... I liked him in Mission Impossible. I liked him in Jerry Maguire. I really like Jerry Maguire a lot. But I don't know. We'll see.
It's funny. You and my husband are the same. I'm like, he's not a Tom Cruise fan. He's like, I'm like, oh, you gonna go? He's like, no interest. Didn't see the first one. Don't want to see the second one. I was like, okay.
Yeah, if I walk into a room and it's on out of curiosity, I'd say, okay, everybody says this is such a phenomenal movie, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I know the song, but I won't go get it. I won't look for it. I mean, I'd rather go back and watch Breaking Bad or reruns of Lost or X-Files or something.
Right. I hear you.
Or Rocky.
Or Rocky.
Just sit watch Rocky. I hear that's a good movie.
Speaking of Rocky 3.
Rocky 3, great segue.
Yes, the 40-year anniversary just went by, so that was really nice. I don't know. I always think of the date with original Rocky, and not, you know what I'm saying. I don't really think about the others, and so I was like, oh, and so I posted that as well. And then Tulsa King, November Cannot Come Fast Enough.
Yeah, everybody's looking for that.
So is he's the central character? I wasn't sure if he was supporting.
No. He's the main guy. Dwight the General Manfredi, I believe, is his character's name.
Wow.
And he's been in. I think he was a New York guy or a Brooklyn mobster or a Jersey mobster, and so he goes away for 20 years. And the guy and I may have this slightly wrong, but I guess while he's in jail, the Don dies, and the Don's son takes over, and the son doesn't like Stallone's character and relegates him to being a useless nothing in Tulsa. So now, for whatever reason, Dwight Manfredi, this general character, he has to start his own band of merry mobsters. You know, so yeah.
Oh, he froze.
It's probably just a sign that I'm going to die. That's all. So,
Michael.
So we stopped at Manfredi. See, no, this is good. This is good. I need this. This is good.
Okay.
Stacy, just so you know, you've been one of the most special people in my life. Thank you for all that you've given me. Thank you. In case I die, I want you to know you're a very special human.
Thank you.
All right, so let's pick up. Let's pick up before I pass away from some toxic infection.
Which we'll get to in a moment. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So let me go. King. Yeah, Tulsa King. So we'll try to cut it right in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dwight has to build this ragtag bunch of mob guys, and they have whatever their thing is. I don't know what the thing that he's going to take over the mob. Is he going to fight with the mob, the original Don's son? Probably some combination, and then probably some personal drama, which makes for a great series. So everyone's really, really excited about that. I know in the Stallone bubble online, all the socials circles, everybody's talking about Tulsa King. They're real excited. And just to back up real quick, Rocky 3. What a huge movie. I mean, this Rocky 3, in my opinion, is kind of what put him into the stratosphere of going from an actor to an icon.
Right.
And that was really amazing. I remember Rocky 3 cutting grass. Every time I would cut grass that summer, I would run right down to the Ritz Theater. It was about 1.5 miles into Center City. So I would just run through backyards, alleyways, train tracks, take it right into downtown Scranton. And I would just go and I would watch. That summer alone, I saw Rocky 3 60-some times just that summer.
Wow.
I was blown away. Yeah, blown away by it.
Wow.
And it was in one of these old vintage movie theaters, and they only had the balcony section. So it was originally massive, but when they downsized, they turned it into a quasi mall. And it wasn't really like, it was kind of rinky dink, but it was an old fashioned theater from the 40s and 50s. So it was very ornate, not like the theaters today. Anyways, you only had the balcony section, which I think fit 300. And then it was a floor that, would just be a floor. And then they put a smaller screen, but yet still big. And I can still remember the smell of the theater and the popcorn and watching that, watching Paul. Yeah. I mean, just Paulie wrecking the machine, the pinball machine and all that. And, seeing Sly come in that camel trench coat, which was just, which was brilliant. And what an amazing trailer for Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It really was.
It was good.
But anyways, so what else is happening in our little fun world?
Well, this episode almost didn't happen. If you wanted to talk about what you're
so
today.
So about 45 minutes ago, I get a call. Yes, you all know I had those kidney stones things going on, and that's never fun. So after everything was all taken care of, so yesterday I would go to the hospital to get my ultrasound and x-ray done, and feel great. Lovely day yesterday. Even bought a new phone yesterday. It was wonderful. And this morning, right at the end of my workout, I get a phone call from the urologist's office. We found some abnormalities on the test from yesterday. Isn't that great? So they said that the kidney is now blocked. Yeah, it's blocked. So whatever that means, which is not great. And you start thinking, cancer, blah, blah, blah. But that area was thoroughly investigated pretty well a month and a half ago. So anyways, I kind of got it out of her that it was basically the stones that were shredded. It was a 3-centimeter stone, and then they just really lasered it down. And of course, those fragments, the sludge, all of that is blocking the kidney. Now, how long has it been blocked? We don't know. It just they said we need to get you an emergency CAT scan. Great. So,
right. Well, I explained that it's more than likely kidney stones and nothing else treatable, completely treatable. But like I said to you, it's just something has to be taken care of right away. So,
and so they said, and so the reason why I'm going to duck out of here a little sooner than normal, I've got to call the hospital in about 10 minutes. The order is going to be processed, and I just got to call and I got to make an appointment. Then I got to get it done soon, and I got to cancel tours because I'm very, very busy, and it's crazy. And recovery last time was 7 days for me. It was brutal, and even then I still had minor complications. So but not having it done, Stacy suggested you did suggest I may want to look into this because you could eventually progress to death from this if not looked at. Didn't you? Or was that just hyperbole? You were just kidding me, weren't you? I'm not gonna.
Oh, Michael, in the worst case scenario machine. Oh my gosh, it's kidney stones, and they have to get out of the way quickly. That's
they gotta get out of the way. That's
all right.
We'll get them moved. We'll get them moved.
And
maybe if I go 15 rounds with Drago, maybe he can pulverize the kidney stones so much further that they're like dust.
Yes,
and they'll just
pass.
I know. And she said, she goes, you want to know the weirdest thing? What she said, what it is, the chemical composition that was found in these stones. It wasn't protein. I used to drink a lot of iced tea. It wasn't that. She said it was meat, red meat, spinach, nuts, and 2 other things. And I forget what the 2 other things or the one other thing was. But I said to myself, that's weird, because maybe I have 7 or 8 hamburgers a year.
Right.
Maybe 4 or 5 steaks a year. To me, that's not a lot.
No, it's not.
And it's not. And I only have lasagna and spinach lasagna roll-ups, whether my mother makes it or Sue makes it, which is once a year, twice a year, maybe. I don't really eat spinach salad. I eat a regular salad. But I don't know how. I guess it's the chemicals in the spinach that will contribute, and then nuts. So, and I used to eat a lot of cashews. I used to eat a lot of what's the green with you peel the shell and
pistachio.
Pistachios. Yeah, I love pistachios.
Yeah,
and granola bars, and I would put granola in yogurt. So now I have to stay away from that. So I don't know. I know my mother's gonna hear this now. She goes, I've got to change the menu again for this kid when he comes in for dinner. I don't know what my menu is going to consist of now.
All right. Potatoes and chicken.
That's it. Thank God they didn't say anything about potato chips or French fries.
Right.
Because then nothing's worth living
starved to death.
That's it. Fine. Let the damn septus take me. Fine. If I can't have potato chips and French fries. Anyway, so I'm gonna go here in 2 minutes. I'm gonna try and call the hospital, see if they got my messages or my information, and we'll try to get that happen. But so what are you gonna do? You're just gonna sit here and vamp? I can't wait to tune in and see what you're gonna do.
So Tim Wisteard to the rescue. I texted him before this, and I'm like,
there you go.
You've got to go to the hospital. So what are we going to do? And so we're going to split this episode up into part 1 and part 2.
Nice.
And we're going to do Where Are They Now with Pedro Lovell, who was Spider Rico.
I have so much to add to the Pedro Lovell story about my time with him on Rocky Balboa. I spent 4 hours with him and his daughter on the 2nd floor of the Victor Cafe during filming of Balboa. And the first half of the night, I was downstairs watching. It was a scene where Paulie comes in to put the TV on to watch the cartoon fight.
Yeah.
And so I watched them film the better part of 2 hours. Then they're going to be filming where I'm standing, and I had to go upstairs. And upstairs in the loft area of the restaurant was the PA, the assistants, background people, a wardrobe people, stand-ins.
Wow.
And here's this man standing off to the corner, sitting in a chair talking to a young lady who was his daughter. And I looked at him and I instantly knew who he was. Even though he was older, I recognized his hair and his chin. And I walked on, I go, "Are you Spider Rico?" And he goes, "Well, yes, I am." I go, "Oh my God, you're Pedro Lovell." I said, "My name is Mike Kunda. I'm a huge Rocky fan. I watched you fight twice on television. I've seen you." And I go, I had followed boxing religiously for quite some time. And I said, "Well, what an honor to me." And so we just had this wonderful talk. And he had told me that Sly had been looking for him for some time because he wanted to wrap up these loose ends in Balboa.
Right.
And Pedro is, because he's not an actor, he was a real heavyweight boxing champion. So at some point he had just gone off the map, off the grid, as they say. And it was like he was running from a Terminator. He was off the grid. Okay. So Skynet couldn't track him. And he's walking down the street one day, and I think it was in Santa Monica. I may be off on these little minute details, but he's walking down the street somewhere, and one of Stallone's guys, I don't know if it was Kevin King, I forget who it was, sees him walking down the street and says, "Pedro,
hey,
stop right here. Sly has been trying to find you." And then Pedro continued telling me that Sly invited Pedro and his daughter up to his house. They hung out for a while, and bing, bang, boom. Next thing you know, Spider Rico's back. Spider Rico can hit. And so,
wow.
Yeah. And I just thought that was great. I got a picture of him. And Stacy, I'll send you that picture. Maybe you can plop it in here.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And he was just sitting up there. And I go, what are you doing here? And he goes, well, Sly's wrapping up. And he goes, they got me washing dishes. And I go, really? And I go, okay. You go, how's that going to work? And remember, 2006, this was January 06, January or early February. And even though the internet was well up and running, there was no Facebook. There was no TMZ. Smartphones just came out. They just, with the camera and all that. So, and video. So, we didn't really know a lot about what was happening with the script. So anyways, that's just my little addendum with Spider Rico.
That's neat. That's actually, it's funny. I'm glad you hung in here for a few more minutes. Because one of the questions that Tim came up with, is it true that Ken Norton was originally supposed to be playing Apollo?
That was the truth. Ken Norton was originally selected to be, but then he went to do the wide world. ABC did the actors and athletic celebrities. They would compete in these games. So you, like 1 week you might see Fonzie and the team of Happy Days go up against the cast of The Incredible Hulk or Love Boat. They would compete for like fun little prizes or whatever.
Right.
And so Ken Norton, it was the Battle of the Network Stars, I think is what it was called. And so he went to do that. Ken Norton went nowhere, and Apollo Creed, took off. So, he was the original Apollo Creed, not Spider Rico.
Wow.
So,
oh, that's neat.
Crazy.
That's neat. That was our question that I was going to ask you. So we got it answered. Awesome.
Yes. Usually I'm able to answer these Rocky related questions.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't know if you know this, but I'm somewhat of a encyclopedic Britannica here about Rocky.
Really?
A lot of people don't know that. No, it's a little quiet thing. I haven't told a lot of people.
Yeah. Big secret.
Yeah. So anyways, hey, listen, if I don't make it through this kidney thing, good night, everybody.
Oh.
Listen, dark morbid humor, that's where I perform best. I perform best. Anyways.
You will be fine.
We'll see.
You will.
We'll see. Anyways, Stacy, I can't wait to see this episode.
Yes.
Anyways, have fun and give Tim my best. And everybody, keep punching.
Keep punching. We'll be right back. Bye.
You really got lucky today.
Spotty didn't lose his share. $40. Less $15 locker and corner, man. $5 shower and towel. 7% tax. Comes to $17.20. You fought a good fight, Spider.
Spider Rico and me, we go back a long time. He said he came from out west, said he lived in the desert, and that's where he learned to fight. And anyway, we met fighting for peanuts a couple of days before Thanksgiving at this old church. You give me this world-class headbutt, and I said, yo, somebody who fights dirtier than me. How are you doing, Isabel?
Okay, except for the freebie reading the Bible over there.
Oh, he's okay.
You know, just because you fought him don't mean you gotta feed him forever. He doesn't even look like a fighter.
Spider Rico can hit. Listen, man, how's your stomach? Yo, how you doing, Spider?
God bless you, Rocky.
Thanks. Then a lot of years later, you showed up at the restaurant and said, remember me? Absolutely. In the headbutt. It still hurts. I remember you saying that you had this daughter But you couldn't remember where she lived because of all the shots you'd taken. I get that. So, me and the cooks, we become like your family.
No, Spider. Let me do some dishes. I feel better.
Oh, come on, you're my guest.
Let me do something.
Well, keep eating. Guests do that.
Don't make me fight again. Last time you got lucky.
Lucky. Okay.
Jesus wants me to work.
Don't get too wet, okay? Hey, Spider.
You knock out that bum once.
You give it a rest. You know, in the ring, you got rules. Outside, in the street, you got nothing. And life hits you with all these cheap shots, and a lot of low blows. And you take them and move on. Or we feel sorry for ourselves and say, yeah. Yeah. But we didn't do that. I'm sad you're gone because you're like my last friend from old days, but I'm glad too because I know wherever you're going, it's got to be better than where you've been.
Zechariah 4:6 says, "It is not by strength, not by might, but by his Spirit, we have already claimed the victory in our Lord Jesus Christ." Good luck, Rocky.
Thanks, Spider. Appreciate it. Stunning.
Tim, that was so nice. What a beautiful video, and welcome, and thank you so much for helping us out here as Mike is running to the hospital right now to see what's going on. And we'll, of course, update everybody as we know more. But tell me about, you and I talked about Spider Rico and Pedro Lovell and getting this segment together. Tell us about that video. You did such a nice job.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, we had a nice conversation about it. And some of the characters that were in the Rocky series, albeit very short time or maybe one or two scenes, they still give an impact, right? They still give an impact for this series, and the characters are beloved years down the road. And Pedro was actually supposed to be in Rocky 2 originally. Now I don't want to say supposed to, but originally he had scenes in Rocky 2.
Yeah.
So I just thought it would be fun to put that video together. And Rocky always had the memories, and you see him. I mean, it was him and the cooks basically at his funeral, right? So he felt that he had to be there. They fought each other and eventually became friends, like him and Apollo. And this is sort of the last of his group with
his core group.
Yeah, that's right.
The beginning of his boxing career. That's so true. That's so true. I found a couple. You actually sent me a bunch of pictures, and I just want to show people. So here he is as Spider Rico from original Rocky, and then of course in Rocky Balboa. And Mike did send us the picture he talked about. There's this picture.
That's a great picture right there.
Yeah, with Pedro Lovell and having met him, and what a great experience it was, and how nice he was, and just a humble regular guy, which is always so nice when people aren't full of themselves.
I was surprised, I was surprised that he didn't have any other roles other than playing Spider Rico. So now I was pleased to find out that he was an actual boxer though.
Yes.
So he had a boxing career, and but he because of injuries he couldn't continue. So but some of the nicknames that he had, right? So we got the KO King, we got the LA Bomber, got One Punch, and my favorite, the Jawbreaker.
The Jawbreaker,
so, I could see why Sly was kind of drawn to him. I mean, you've got him as an actual boxer, and if you look back some of the movies, he was Tommy Morrison, and
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, right? So he's used professional athletes before, and that gives it that realistic feel to it, right? So,
right.
I mean, he just looked like a boxer. Because he was a boxer.
Yeah. So. No, definitely a tough guy. And the one question we got answered for you before we closed out with Mike is that Ken Norton was in fact considered or was originally going to play Apollo. So I wanted to make sure you knew that.
Thank you, Mike, for answering that question, because I knew where to go with that question.
So I do have a few things here. I found his background very interesting, very complex. He's Afro-Argentine, English-Argentine, and Italian-Argentine. I mean, what a combination of a background. It's just, it's amazing. And so he obviously is from Argentina. He moved his professional career to the US, and Pedro racked up a string of 9 straight knockouts, which was very impressive. And as you said, it was hampered by physical injuries. It was Terry Kruger who broke his winning streak, I guess. Is that that's what I found out here.
Right.
And let's see. I just want to. Oh, yeah. And that he was. Yeah, Kruger let go with a wild left hook, and Pedro Lovell's undefeated streak ended. He was unconscious for more than 3 minutes. I was like, oh my gosh. So that blew my mind. But they did a rematch, and he beat Kruger in the rematch, which was, I was like, oh, take that. That's something, very Rocky right there. That's
absolutely,
of course, right,
absolutely.
right. And as you said, his nicknames: Knockout King, the LA Bomber, Jawbreaker, and One Punch. I loved all that. I wanted to show some other pictures of him, some of his posters. Now, this is all Tim right here. Tim is responsible for this entire segment because he helped me do my homework because I've been crazy here. But here's a cool poster, and then that.
Oh, that's a great shot.
And that one. Here he is on the cover of The Ring. And
Ring magazine. That's quite impressive to make the cover of Ring magazine, right? So
that's a big deal. And then
another fight poster.
Another fight poster. So that was really neat. So the fun little thing about today is that when this airs on Thursday, it is June 9th. Well, and we get to say happy birthday because Pedro Lovell's birthday is June 9th. So a big happy birthday to him. I do believe he is still living. Is that correct? Yeah. He is still living. And also a little surprise for our friend, Robert Kerr.
My main man, Rob Kerr.
I want everybody to go back to episode 12 and check him out. He has the best story. So sweet. He has some physical limitations that he just certainly does not let stop him. And he is 50 years old today. So I want to encourage
happy birthday, Rob,
to send him a happy birthday. Just a sweetheart.
Yo, Rob.
Yep. Sweetheart of a guy. Awesome. So let's see. Now, Tim, I am so proud of you and Tony C. You guys have just taken this great idea, epic title, by the way. I mentioned that to Mike when we were talking about you guys, Round 14 podcast. I just love that. And I said, you're taking the Rocky thing and expanding it. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about Round 14 podcast and what you want to bring. I think it's such
thanks so much.
Nicely done.
Like I said, Tony Casa and I have been kind of experimenting, and we got talking about trying this on our own. So we both got our start with the Rocky Files, and very gracious. Tony was a guest and I was a guest. We were fortunate enough to, again, like tonight, fill in at when needed, special co-host, guest co-host. And we never forget where we come from, where your roots are from. So we appreciate you and Mike so much.
Oh, of course.
But we started a podcast called Round 14. So the premise of this is just, if you think about, you go to the movies with a group of people, and then afterwards you go and grab a drink at a bar and you kind of talk about the movie, and you're all together. You maybe haven't seen each other in a while, and you kind of talk about the movie, and you look up and you see a trailer for another movie, or the hockey game is on, or they're playing they're playing Back to the Future or something, and you kind of talk about that, and it's just kind of a fun. I mean, we talk about Rocky, we talk about Rambo, but we just kind of drift off, and not sometimes on purpose, but the conversation just changes to, you know, we did Top Gun last week, the original Top Gun 1986, and so last night on episode 3, which is on YouTube now, we broke down Hope, British Columbia is where they filmed First Blood in 1981.
Cool. Yeah.
So we got talking about Rocky generational, you know, and how many Canadians like Rocky, but we have a little bit of a soft spot in our heart for First Blood.
Right.
Because it was filmed in British Columbia. So we just talked about how they filmed the movie there and how they still have ties to the movie. There's a statue that we showed last night. So check us out on Round 14 on YouTube, Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock.
Nice.
So we're 3 episodes in, and we're learning, we're getting our feet wet, but we're having a good time, right? So and that's the important thing. That's
the important thing. Yeah.
But like I said, we talk about Rocky and Rambo and 80s movies and music and record players and the classic movies and the blockbusters, and we talk about Blockbuster actually at one point. So
nice.
So how we all miss going to the movie store on Friday night. Now I know, you know, it's so easy now with Netflix and Disney and Amazon Prime, but I really miss going to the movie theater, Stacy. Sorry, the
Blockbuster. Yeah. And then you'd go down the aisle and find that one that everyone, you know, especially when it's the latest one, and you get there and there's still a copy.
There was nothing worse than walking in and finding out that there was, you know, 20 copies of Rocky Balboa and not one of them was there, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like, I mean, who's kidding who? I went and bought it, so they didn't rent that. So
of course.
Yeah.
And you had a very special message for our friend Joanne. So Joanne was episode 13 on the Rocky Files, and as many of you know, she has gone through several chemo treatments for breast cancer, and she just did a post where she finally, after 9 long months, got back to work, and you and Tony gave her a shout out on episode 3.
We wanted to mention, because Joanne is also from British Columbia.
Yeah.
And so it tied in nicely with our First Blood, and she's been so supportive of the Rocky Files, and again, she's very supportive of Round 14 as well. So we just wanted to say, Joanne, we're so happy you're back. We love you. We think you're just doing great.
Yeah.
You know, we're so happy. Your spirit is just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You are a definition of the Rocky spirit, Joanne, because, you know, that is moving forward. You know, I get a cold or I cut my finger and I'm just a big baby. Like, you know, absolutely unbelievable person. And good Canadian lady right there. I tell you that much.
Yeah, she sure is. Just a sweetheart. And I love messaging with her. And no, she's a tough cookie. She's gone through this twice. So I just made a tough stuff. I don't know how I do facing something like that. And
we make them tough in Canada.
Yeah. Yes, you do. And to be feeling, that's such a long journey, you know, and to be feeling well enough to head back to work, that's a big step. That's a big milestone. So I was so glad you guys mentioned her, because she deserves that. So,
and very, like I said, she's very supportive of the Rocky Files, of Rocky Land.
Yeah.
And she's always putting up nice posts, and it was just so nice to see that yesterday that Joanne's back.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my friends, I do appreciate you coming in. This was a little bit of a
I was, you know what, I was so happy
together
to come in and help out. You know, at an expense, Mike. You know, Michael has been going a little bit up and down with this, but you know, if there's another person that keeps moving forward, it's Mike. So you know what, he will get through this. He's too strong, he's too tough, and this is just a hiccup. So
yeah,
we're with you, Mike.
Yeah, we wish you well, and whatever it is, we will. I've said to him, it's kidney stones. I don't want you to worry about anything else. It's just kidney stones. When you have that many, it takes a few tries to get them all out. But yeah, we wish you well. And so everyone can find Mike on Instagram and TikTok. Let me see if I get this right. On Instagram, the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour, and on TikTok, TICK TikTok, Rocky?
TikTok Rocky, because it was TikTok was taken.
And then his books, thank you very much.
His book
Cue
right
the
there.
Rocky music right there. You can find that on Amazon, and The Pretender is on most of the streaming platforms.
That's right.
Yeah, great movie. Just his journey from the film tour being an idea to what it's become today, which has led him to a relationship with Sly. It's just bigger and wilder than he ever imagined. So that's where you can find Mike. I am at Had Me at Yo, and of course on the Rocky Files. And Tim, where can people find you? You have more addresses now than you did before.
We have more addresses now. Yeah. So I seem to add one every week. It seems like I'm at Tim Wisteard and at Round 14 Podcast.
Yeah.
And then we still do a little fun thing with Tony DeGennaro.
Yes.
Timmy and Tony, two jabronis. So Tony DeGennaro has got some big plans coming up too. He's going to be meeting Sly coming up. So there's lots of good stuff going on in Rocky Land, and some success stories, some birthdays, a little bit of surgery. We got a mixed bag. We got a moving. So Stacy's now settled in Tennessee. And we're just so happy that you and Mike are back. And like I said, I was just so happy to come in and help out a little bit. So thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. You're always there for us. You've been a huge support, more than people realize. So all right, my friends. Well, thank you. Have a good rest of your night. Have a great weekend. And as we always say, keep punching.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.